whenever you're ready.
Imagine the world without electricity. No phones, no computers, no internet, and no Facebook. Well, you could face a book, no Facebook. No commercially produced music, and thankfully, no auto-tune. What would leave? The world, as you know it, wouldn't exist. And in the words of Ambrose Bierce, who was an American journalist, electricity is the power that causes all natural phenomena not known to be caused by something else. Today, I will be telling you about why nuclear power is better than the traditional form of electricity generation from coal. And just the fact that not many of us know about this wonderful source of electricity, and that we all have a mental block when we think of nuclear energy, is one of the reasons why I chose this topic. And I'll be telling you about the criteria that I based this upon and how nuclear energy exceeds these standards. And coming to my first main point, I would like to tell you that there are many different criteria to be kept in mind when deciding if a source of energy is good or bad. But the two main things that strike me as most important are that number one, it should be non-polluting, and number two, it should reduce or totally eliminate our over-dependence on coal and other fossil fuels. Now, electricity from coal comes at a very great price to the environment. According to the Energy Information Administration, 1/3 of carbon dioxide emissions, 2/3 of sulfur dioxide emissions, and 1/3 of nitrogen oxide emissions in just a year in America are from coal-fired power plants. And another thing is that coal ash is produced when coal is burnt to generate heat. This ash is collected using water, and only 20% of it can be reused, and the remaining 80% is disposed of using ash ponds and landfills. This ash contains radionuclides like uranium and potassium and other minerals, according to the Environment Protection Agency. This causes not only environmental pollution but also affects all living and breathing organisms. Now, my second subpoint deals with our overdependence on natural resources. A major chunk of the foreign exchange of both developing and developed nations is spent on importing coal and other natural resources. Another thing is that these resources are non-renewable, meaning they will eventually run out, which leads to the increasing prices of these commodities and could also lead to serious wars in the future between countries over territories where coal mines are situated. The best example of this would be Germany forcibly taking control of the Saar Basin from the French during the interwar period because that area had a lot of coal mines. Now that we know the different criteria that I based my selection on, I will tell you how nuclear energy is suitable. Well, nuclear energy is nowhere close to polluting the atmosphere as electricity from coal. It is estimated that a 250 megawatt power plant produces close to 250,000 tons of carbon dioxide in its entire lifetime, whereas the same capacity coal-fired power plant produces close to 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide in just a year. Another thing is that coal is estimated to kill nearly 4,000 times as many people as nuclear power. And my third point is that the quantity of waste produced from a nuclear power plant is much lesser than when compared to a coal-fired power plant. And like I said, the ash is just an example, and it is carelessly disposed of, whereas nuclear waste is carefully handled because, well, we know it's nuclear waste. And Ronald Reagan once famously said, all the waste in a year from a nuclear power plant can be stored under a desk. Now, my fourth main point is about the abundance of nuclear fuel. It is estimated that nuclear fuel, specifically uranium, which is the primary nuclear fuel, is around 600 times more common than gold, and 40 times more common than silver, and as common as tin on the Earth's surface. This is all usable after refining, of course, for in nuclear power plants. Another thing is that there are no constraints for producing nuclear energy, like time of the day, place, direction, number of workers, etc., because most of it is automated to reduce the number of human interactions to the minimum level. I would like to conclude by telling you that nuclear energy is much, much better than electricity from coal-fired power plants. The criteria used for determining this is that it should be non-polluting and it should reduce or eliminate our total dependence on these fossil fuels for our energy needs. Nuclear energy not only helps preventing pollution, unnecessary pollution of course, but it also helps us in finding a solution to the problem of diminishing resources. I would like to quote Craig Stevens from the Department of Energy. As emerging economies continue to grow, the one source of energy that can be rapidly, cheaply, and close to no emissions, that can be developed rapidly, cheaply, and with close to no emissions is nuclear energy. Thank you.